Did you know that something as simple as drinking water in the morning could be harming your health? That's right, that glass of water you reach for when you first wake up might actually be doing more harm than good, depending on how you're drinking it. Good morning, and welcome to Wise Elderly Tips. Today, I'm going to share something that might surprise you. There are 5 dangerous mistakes many seniors make when drinking water in the morning. Mistakes that could be secretly sabotaging your health, your energy levels, and even your medication effectiveness. I've spent years researching and working with seniors on proper hydration, and what I've discovered is that many of us have been doing it wrong our entire lives. The worst part is, as we age, these mistakes become even more harmful to our bodies. Water is life-giving, there's no question about that. But drinking it incorrectly can lead to digestive problems, medication interactions, energy crashes, and even unnecessary strain on your kidneys. The good news? Once you know what these mistakes are, they're incredibly easy to fix. By the end of this video, you'll discover exactly what these 5 dangerous mistakes are and, more importantly, the simple solutions to correct them. The final mistake we'll discuss is one almost everyone makes, but nobody ever talks about, and it could be affecting your hormonal balance without you even realizing it. If you've ever felt bloated, tired, or uncomfortable after your morning glass of water, type "I want to know" in the comments below. And if you're committed to maintaining your health and independence as you age, click that subscribe button to join our Wise Elderly Tips community where we share practical advice like this every week. Now, let's dive into these 5 dangerous mistakes and how you can transform your morning routine for better health. Mistake number 1, drinking water too quickly. The first mistake might seem harmless, but it's one I see seniors make almost every day, drinking water too quickly first thing in the morning. Let me tell you about Mr. Thompson, a 72-year-old retiree I worked with last year. Every morning, like clockwork, he would wake up feeling absolutely parched. And what did he do? He'd immediately grab the glass of water from his bedside table and gulp down all 8 ounces in a matter of seconds. Ah, that's better, he'd think. But within half an hour, the bloating would start. By mid-morning, he felt oddly tired, despite having slept well. And throughout the day, he experienced what he called a heavy feeling in his stomach. When we discussed his morning routine, this seemingly innocent habit of gulping down water stood out immediately. You see, there's some important science at work here. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep without fluids, your body needs time to wake up all its systems, including digestion. When you flood your body with water too quickly, especially on an empty stomach, your digestive system doesn't have time to prepare. Your stomach gets stretched suddenly, and your kidneys, which work as filters, get overwhelmed with a sudden influx of fluid to process. Think of it like this: imagine watering a dry plant. If you pour a large amount of water all at once, most of it runs off without being absorbed. But if you water slowly, the soil has time to absorb the moisture properly. Your body works in a similar way, particularly as we age and our systems become less efficient. Many of us believe that faster hydration is better hydration, that getting that water into our system quickly will rehydrate us faster. This is a dangerous misconception. Our bodies, especially as we age, need time to process and distribute water effectively. Quick consumption doesn't mean quick hydration. In fact, it often means poor absorption and unnecessary strain on our organs. So what's the solution? It's beautifully simple: sip, don't gulp. Take that same glass of water, but instead of drinking it all at once, take small sips over a period of 10 to 15 minutes. This gives your body time to actually absorb the water, puts less strain on your kidneys, and prevents that uncomfortable bloated feeling. Mr. Thompson tried this approach, and within just 3 days, he reported feeling more energized in the mornings and experiencing less bloating. Something so simple made such a profound difference in how he felt throughout his day. Now that we know the importance of how quickly we drink our water, let's move on to another common mistake that affects not just comfort but your entire metabolic system. Mistake number 2, drinking cold water first thing. The second dangerous mistake many seniors make is reaching for ice-cold water first thing in the morning. Mrs. Garcia, a lovely 68-year-old who attended one of my health workshops, shared that she always kept a pitcher of refrigerated water by her bed. "I love how refreshing it feels," she told me. But refreshing doesn't always mean beneficial. Every morning, she'd wake up and immediately drink a tall glass of cold water, believing it would give her an energy boost to start her day. What she didn't realize was that this habit was contributing to her chronic digestive discomfort and the sluggish feeling she experienced until almost lunchtime. When I suggested she might try room temperature water instead, she was skeptical but willing to try. Here's what happens in your body when you drink cold water first thing in the morning. Overnight, your body temperature naturally rises slightly as it prepares to wake up. Your digestive system is warming up, getting ready to process your first meal of the day. When you suddenly introduce ice-cold water, you're essentially shocking your system. It's like trying to start a car in below freezing temperatures. Everything has to work harder. The cold water causes your blood vessels to constrict, your digestive muscles to tighten, and it forces your body to use energy to warm up the water instead of focusing on waking up properly. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that cold water is more refreshing and energizing than room temperature water. We associate that shock of cold with being alert and awake. But that momentary feeling of alertness is actually your body responding to stress. It's not natural energy. That's why the effect doesn't last, and you often feel more tired shortly afterward. The solution is wonderfully simple. Keep a glass or bottle of water at room temperature by your bedside. When you wake up, this water will be gentle on your system, allowing your body to absorb it without the shock of cold. Room temperature water supports your digestion rather than disrupting it, and it allows your metabolism to wake up naturally. Mrs. Garcia was amazed at the difference this simple change made. "I feel so much better throughout the morning," she told me after just a week. "I never realized something as simple as water temperature could affect how my entire day feels." Remember, your body has wisdom. When something causes a shock or discomfort, that's your body telling you something isn't quite right. Listen to those signals. Now, let's move on to our third mistake, which is particularly important for those of you taking any kind of medication in the morning. Mistake number 3, skipping water after taking medication. Our third dangerous mistake is one that can actually affect how well your medications work: not drinking enough water when taking your morning pills. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 75-year-old retired teacher I met during a community health discussion. Margaret was diligent about taking her blood pressure medication every morning. She never missed a dose. Her health was important to her. But she had a habit of taking her pills with just a tiny sip of water, just enough to get the pill down her throat. Over time, she started experiencing dizziness, headaches, and her doctor was concerned because her blood pressure readings weren't improving as expected, despite being on the right medication at the right dose. When I asked her about her medication routine, this small detail about minimal water intake stood out immediately. What many seniors don't realize is that medications are designed to work with adequate water in your system. Think of it this way: those pills need to dissolve properly to release the active ingredients, and then those ingredients need to be transported throughout your bloodstream to reach their target areas. Water is the essential medium that makes this entire process possible. When you take medication with just a small sip of water, several problems can occur. First, the pill might not dissolve completely, meaning you're not getting the full dose. Second, without enough water, the concentrated medication can irritate your esophagus or stomach lining. And third, many medications, especially those for blood pressure, heart conditions, or diuretics, can actually contribute to dehydration as a side effect. There's a common misconception that taking medication with a lot of water will somehow dilute its effectiveness. This is rarely the case. In fact, the opposite is true. Proper hydration helps your body process and utilize medication more effectively. Another misconception is that coffee, tea, or juice are adequate substitutes for water when taking medication. This is dangerous thinking. Some beverages can actually interact with certain medications, either reducing their effectiveness or increasing the risk of side effects. The solution is straightforward: always take your morning medications with a full 8-ounce glass of water, unless your doctor has specifically instructed otherwise. And if you take multiple medications, make sure you're staying well hydrated throughout the day to support your kidneys as they process these substances. When Margaret started implementing this simple change, taking her blood pressure medication with a full glass of water instead of just a sip, she noticed significant improvements. Her dizziness subsided, and her blood pressure readings began to show improvement. Sometimes the smallest changes can have the most profound effects on our health. Now, speaking of how you take your water, let's move on to a mistake that might be sitting right on your bedside table as we speak. Mistake number 4, using plastic bottles left overnight. The fourth dangerous mistake might surprise you, because it involves something many of us do without a second thought: drinking from plastic water bottles that have been sitting out overnight. John, a 70-year-old grandfather I consulted with, kept a plastic water bottle by his bed every night for convenience. He'd refill the same bottle for days, sometimes weeks, before getting a new one. It seemed economical and convenient. But over time, he started experiencing unusual fatigue, mood swings, and just didn't feel like himself. His doctor couldn't pinpoint any specific cause from his tests. When we discussed his daily habits, this seemingly innocent plastic bottle routine caught my attention immediately. What John didn't realize was that his convenient bedside water source was slowly leaching harmful chemicals into his drinking water, particularly overnight. Here's what happens. Most plastic bottles, even those labeled BPA-free, contain chemical compounds that can leach into water over time. This process accelerates when the plastic is exposed to heat, like a warm bedroom, sunlight, or simply with the passage of time. The older and more worn the plastic bottle, the more chemicals it releases. These aren't just random, harmless particles. Many of these chemicals are what scientists call endocrine disruptors. They mimic hormones in your body, particularly estrogen and thyroid hormones. For seniors, whose hormonal balance is already changing with age, this additional disruption can cause noticeable effects on energy, mood, and even cognitive function. There's a dangerous misconception that plastic is inert, that it doesn't interact with its contents. Many people believe that only heating plastic in microwaves causes problems. The truth is that plastic begins breaking down and releasing compounds from the moment it's manufactured, and this process continues throughout its use. Another misconception is that all plastics marked BPA-free are completely safe. Unfortunately, many BPA substitutes have been found to have similar hormone-disrupting properties. The less exposure to these chemicals, the better, especially as we age and our bodies become more sensitive. The solution is simple but effective: switch to glass or stainless steel containers for your bedside water. These materials don't leach chemicals into your water, no matter how long they sit out. If you must use plastic, choose high-quality, BPA-free options and replace them regularly. Never reuse single-use plastic bottles, and don't leave water sitting in plastic containers overnight. When John switched to a glass carafe and cup by his bedside, he noticed improvements in his energy and mood within just a couple of weeks. Sometimes the most significant health hazards are the ones we don't even see or taste. Now, let's move on to our fifth and final mistake, one that many people make thinking they're making a healthier choice. Mistake number 5, relying on sugary drinks instead of water. The fifth and final dangerous mistake many seniors make is replacing their morning water with what they believe are healthier alternatives: juices, sweetened teas, or enhanced waters. Let me tell you about Mr. Jackson, an active 77-year-old who prided himself on his healthy lifestyle. Every morning, he would drink a large glass of orange juice with his breakfast. "It's natural, full of vitamin C, and tastes great," he'd say. But despite his otherwise healthy habits, he noticed his energy would crash dramatically about an hour after breakfast, and he often felt tired and sluggish by mid-morning. When we reviewed his morning routine, that glass of juice immediately stood out as a potential culprit. Many seniors don't realize that juices, even 100% natural ones with no added sugar, contain concentrated fruit sugars that affect your body very differently than whole fruits do. Here's what happens when you drink juice or other sweetened beverages first thing in the morning. Your body, which has been fasting overnight, suddenly receives a significant dose of sugar. This causes your blood sugar to spike rapidly, triggering your pancreas to release a large amount of insulin to process all that sugar. The result? A dramatic blood sugar crash shortly afterward, leaving you feeling tired, irritable, and often craving more sugar to bring your levels back up. This roller coaster isn't just uncomfortable, it's particularly problematic for seniors, many of whom may already have insulin sensitivity issues or pre-diabetic conditions even without a formal diagnosis. There's a powerful misconception at play here. Many of us believe that natural sugars from fruits are completely different from other sugars and don't affect our bodies the same way. While fruit sugars are indeed accompanied by beneficial nutrients, when consumed as juice rather than whole fruit, the sugar impact is still significant. Another dangerous misconception is that flavored or enhanced waters are equivalent to regular water for hydration. Many of these products contain artificial sweeteners, which can trigger insulin responses similar to sugar and disrupt your gut health, something particularly important for seniors to maintain. The solution is refreshingly simple: make pure water your primary morning beverage. Your body needs actual water, not substitutes or flavored alternatives, especially first thing in the morning. If you miss having flavor, try infusing your water naturally with a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a few mint leaves. These add a pleasant taste without the sugar impact. Save juices for occasional treats rather than daily habits, and when you do have them, consider diluting them with water to reduce the sugar concentration. And remember, eating a whole orange provides fiber that slows sugar absorption, making it a much better choice than drinking orange juice. When Mr. Jackson replaced his morning juice with water, occasionally infused with a little lemon, he was amazed at how much more stable his energy remained throughout the morning. "I had no idea that my healthy juice could be causing those energy crashes," he told me. "Such a simple change has made my mornings so much better." These 5 mistakes might seem small individually, but their combined effect on your health and well-being can be significant, especially as we age and our bodies become more sensitive to these impacts. I understand that learning about these mistakes might be frustrating. Water seems so simple, doesn't it? It should be the easiest part of our health routine, but as we've discovered, even something as basic as drinking water has nuances that become increasingly important as we age. You might be feeling a bit overwhelmed right now. Perhaps you've recognized one or even all 5 of these mistakes in your own morning routine. Maybe you've been drinking water quickly, or from plastic bottles, or replacing it with juice for years, decades even. You might be wondering what effects this has had on your body all this time. First, I want you to take a deep breath. Our bodies are remarkably resilient, even as we age. The beauty of the information I've shared today is that these mistakes can be corrected immediately, starting tomorrow morning. The human body has an incredible capacity to respond positively to even small changes in our habits. I believe that knowledge about our changing bodies isn't a burden, it's a gift. As we age, our needs shift, and understanding these changes allows us to adapt with grace and intelligence. The wisdom that comes with our years should include learning to listen more closely to what our bodies are telling us and responding with care. When you make these simple adjustments to how you drink water in the morning, you're not just avoiding problems, you're actively caring for yourself in a profound way. You're honoring the needs of your body exactly as it is today, not as it was decades ago. There's something deeply self-respectful about that. I've seen so many seniors transform their daily experience just by changing how they approach morning hydration. Mrs. Garcia, who switched from ice-cold water to room temperature, told me she felt like she discovered a secret source of energy she never knew she had. Mr. Thompson, who learned to sip his water slowly, said his mornings were now comfortable instead of bloated and heavy. I encourage you to try just one of these changes tomorrow morning. Perhaps start with the easiest one for you, maybe switching from plastic to glass, or sipping your water slowly instead of gulping it down. Notice how your body feels different. Pay attention to your energy levels, your digestion, even your mood throughout the day. These small changes often lead to the most meaningful improvements in how we feel. Remember, many seniors who have made these simple adjustments report feeling more energetic, experiencing better digestion, and even noticing improvements in their overall well-being within just a few days. Your morning routine sets the tone for your entire day. Why not make it the best it can be? You deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to have energy and vitality. And sometimes, the pathway to feeling better isn't complicated medical interventions or elaborate health regimens. It's simply becoming more mindful about the basics, like how we drink our morning water. Let's take a moment to recap what we've learned today. We've discovered 5 dangerous mistakes many seniors make when drinking water in the morning. First, drinking water too quickly, which can overwhelm your digestive system and kidneys. Second, choosing ice-cold water, which shocks your system and slows down your metabolism. Third, not drinking enough water with medications, which can reduce their effectiveness and strain your body. Fourth, using plastic bottles that have been sitting out, which can leach harmful chemicals into your water. And fifth, replacing water with sugary drinks like juice, which can cause energy crashes and disrupt your blood sugar. Each of these habits might seem harmless on the surface, but they can significantly impact how you feel throughout your entire day, and even affect your long-term health. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these mistakes resonated with you the most? Have you been making any of these errors without realizing it? And which solution do you plan to try first? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences might help others in our community who are facing similar challenges. If you found this information valuable, if it made you think differently about something as simple as drinking water, please consider subscribing to Wise Elderly Tips. We're dedicated to providing practical, science-backed advice to help you maintain your independence and well-being as you age. Our channel focuses on these kinds of simple yet powerful adjustments that can make a real difference in your quality of life. Click that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our latest tips. I also want to invite you to share this video with friends or family members who might benefit from this information. Sometimes the simplest knowledge can make the biggest difference in someone's daily comfort and health. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember, proper hydration is one of the simplest yet most powerful things you can do for your health at any age. With these adjustments to your morning water routine, you're setting yourself up for better days ahead. Stay wise, stay well, and I'll see you in our next video, where we'll continue exploring practical ways to enhance your health and independence during these precious golden years. Until then, be well, and remember, small changes, big impact.